Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Friars pregame show for September 30th, 2022. We got the Padres and the White Sox tonight. Padres have a chance to get that magic number down from 3 to maybe even 1 tonight. If they win and Milwaukee can lose to Miami, they get that magic number down to 1, and then they could clinch a playoff spot tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting weekend down there at Petco Park. I'm going tonight, going tomorrow, going Sunday. I wanted to be there when this team clinches a playoff spot, and I think this is the weekend that it's going to happen. Darvish did not pitch yesterday. Padres decided to give him an extra day, and so he's pitching tonight on City Connect night. I think the Padres have a better chance of winning tonight than they did yesterday, even if Darvish was on the mound yesterday. The lineup that they have today, I'll talk about that in a little bit. That lineup is pretty much a playoff lineup. When you're putting Darvish on the mound today instead of yesterday, you're pretty much saying it's a must-win almost game today. Like, they don't have to win it, obviously, but that's like their intent is to definitely win today's game. They were willing to sacrifice yesterday, which I was fine with as well, but they were willing to sacrifice yesterday to put themselves in a much better chance to win today. So got to win, got to win today. Get that magic number down to at least 2 tonight. 6:40 is the first pitch. Davis Martin is on the mound for the White Sox, and Darvish obviously on the mound for the Padres. White Sox, by the way, they're 77 and 79. They definitely have underperformed their expectations this year. This was a team that I think they were on paper going into this season. They were the American League Central favorites. But Lucas Giolito hasn't pitched that great this year. Lance Lynn, if I remember correctly, he has not pitched that great this year. Their one great starter is Dylan Cease, who is pretty much up for the AL Cy Young. He's in that boat. He's definitely a nominee there. I think one of the candidates to win the AL Cy Young. Padres will see him tomorrow. But today they have Davis Martin on the mound. It's just been a disappointing season for the White Sox, kind of like how it finished for the Padres last year. And so we know what that's like. We probably know what Chicago White Sox fans are going through, postseason expectations going into the season. And Tim Anderson's been hurt. Some things have gone wrong for them. A lot of things have gone wrong. And some things, it's just the players, they just did not perform up to expectations. So the White Sox, they're not really playing for anything. They're not, obviously in contention for a postseason spot or anything like that. So you would think this is a series, the Padres, everything is on the line. They're trying to go for it and clinch a playoff spot this weekend. So they're going to go balls to the wall. And you would think that the Padres are more motivated to win these games than the White Sox, and hopefully that serves them well in this series. Davis Martin, in his last start, that was September 24th against the Tigers, went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. The start before that was also against the Detroit Tigers on September 17th. That was in Detroit. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run. Start before that, 5 innings, no runs. So he's actually had a pretty good month of September if you're just looking at the game logs, which is what I'm doing. I would be lying if I said I know everything about Davis Martin. The 3 lineups that he faced, Minnesota's pretty good, but Detroit, that's not the toughest lineup. This is going to be the toughest lineup that he's faced probably all season long. Made his debut May 17th. He's faced the Royals, Rays, Rangers, Tigers. Blue Jays were in there too. Gave up 3 earned runs in a third of an inning. So maybe the Blue Jays, toughest AL lineup he's faced, but NL lineup is definitely the Padres. So we'll see how he does. And Darvish, it's win day. When Darvish is on the mound, obviously, Padres got to win that game. Hopefully this is Darvish's last start before he pitches in that wild card game next Friday, or the first wild card series, the first game of that series. Sometimes I mess up that because I got to get used to. Oh no, it's a series. It's not one game. Um, but yeah, so Darvish last time out, 6 innings, 2 runs against Colorado. He's given up 5 earned runs combined in the month of September. So that's 5 earned runs in 33 innings. So that's pretty darn good. He hasn't walked more than 3 guys in a start this month. He's walked a combined 2 batters in his last 3 starts. That's ace stuff. And so I'm fully expecting the Padres win today. If they don't, that's definitely going to be disappointing because the lineup that they have out today, it seems like that's going to be their playoff lineup. Maybe a change here and there if you don't want Grisham in there hitting ninth and you'd rather have a Zokar. But and maybe Myers is in there over Josh Bell DHing, or Drury's DHing and Myers is at first with no Bell. But the bulk of this lineup is the playoff lineup. Profar's leading off in left field. Soto is in right field batting second. Manny's at third base batting third. Crony is hitting cleanup. He's playing second tonight. Drury's batting fifth. He's playing first. Josh Bell batting sixth. He is DHing. Kim batting seventh. He is at short. Austin Nola behind the plate. He is batting eighth. And then Grish, he is in center field, obviously, and he is batting ninth. These are the guys, like I just talked about. Profar, Kim probably going to lead off, and then it's going to be Soto, Manny, and either Crony or Drury 4, and then maybe the other guy 5. Or if Crony's not hitting fourth, maybe he's down like 6 or 7, depending on where Kim is in the order. But I like this lineup. Depending on who's hotter, maybe you go Myers or Bell. I kind of would rather go with Myers right now if it was a postseason game, but it's not a postseason game. But this is pretty much the lineup. It's a solid lineup when things are clicking. And then the White Sox lineup, obviously not as talented. Looks like they're giving some young guys some chances. But there's also some veterans there. Elvis Andrus, he's leading off at short. Mark Payton's in center. Jose Abreu's still a White Sox. He's at first. Eloy Jimenez, he's DHing. Gavin Sheets is in right field. Yohan Moncada is at third, former Red Sox. Andrew Vaughn is in left. I think he was their first-round pick a few years back. Carlos Perez is going to be catching. I think Yasmani Grandal is still on the White Sox, but he's not in there today. And Josh Harrison, he's going to be at second base. He is batting ninth. There's not really any matchups thing, that the Padres can go off against of Davis Martin because they haven't faced him at all. For the White Sox, Abreu's hitting .333 off of Darvish in 9 at-bats. Some of that might have been when Darvish was, I don't know when it was, but he obviously pitched for the Rangers in the American League, so maybe that's when some of the numbers are. I don't really know. Yeah, Grandal's still a White Sox, by the way. But I don't know when these numbers are, so take it with a grain of salt. Moncada, 9 at-bats, hitting 111 off him. 14 at-bats for Pollock. He's not in the lineup, but he's hitting .286 off of Darvish. I don't care about those numbers. Darvish, regardless of the opponent, your expectation should be quality start, 6, 7 innings. 7 innings, I think, would be great tonight because of the bullpen being used last night, right? They had Minaya, who I thought he pitched really well. I gave my reaction to it on the series reaction episode, which is out on the podcast platforms and on YouTube right now. If you want to watch or listen to that, catch up on that before the Padre game starts in like 3 hours. But my reaction to Minaya was I thought it was solid. The changeup, the slider looked really, really good. Fastball velo, it is what it is. But he was very effective. I think he went like 4 innings, gave up 1 run. So that helped out the bullpen. Didn't have to use maybe as many guys, but they still used 3 bullpen arms that might have pitched today if they didn't go with the bullpen game. Morahone, 30 pitches yesterday. Probably going to want to stay away from him. Wilson, 12 pitches, 19 pitches the day before, so he's not going to go today, I wouldn't think, 3 days in a row. When you have Hader, Garcia, Martinez, and Tim Hill, and Robert Suarez all pitching on at least a day's rest. Suarez, it's 2 days rest. Pierce Johnson, 31 pitches last night. Wouldn't expect him to go. But the top guys in the bullpen. Hader, Garcia, Martinez. If you want to include Tim Hill in there, Suarez, those gas, Heat, they're all going to be, um, you would think they're all going to be available today after Darvish goes. So maybe they use Hader, Garcia, Martinez tonight to close it out. We'll see. Hopefully the Padres have a lead. Ideally, the Padres, hopefully they could use one reliever or maybe two if Darvish goes 7 innings. So I think that's the path to victory tonight. Obviously, scoring runs off of Davis Martin would be ideal, obviously. The magic number is down to 3, obviously, like I said earlier. Just a quick reminder, by the way, the Burn the Ships t-shirts, the phrase that Crony wrote on the whiteboard in Arizona. Since that meeting, things have turned around. Accountability, guys playing as a team. That ship that has all your personal desires on it, they burnt those. Playing as a team, there's only one way to go. That whole Burn the Ships mantra. Made a shirt out of it. Partnered with Breaking Tea to do that. And you can visit breakingtea.com/Talking Friars to purchase that t-shirt if you want to. There's already been some people that have tagged me on social media that have got the shirts and it has arrived. So I'm excited to see those fans wearing those at the ballpark. Padres looking for their 87th win today. My Padre pick today is going to be Crony. Don't really have a reason why. I just have a feeling. Yesterday was Drury, and he got a hit. I think he got multiple hits, so I'm 98-52 so far this season in my Padre pick. Let's go through the chat here to end it. If you want to support the channel, you can use the super chat button, super thanks button on regular videos. Michael says, good to see you, Ben. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. LFGSD, that is right. Jeffrey says, let's get that number down. Glad to be done with the Dodgers until the NLDS, the earliest. I agree with that. I was expecting the Padres to lose that series, but I was glad that it was competitive. That was my thoughts on the series that I said on the podcast yesterday, or also on YouTube. In short, I was glad that the games were competitive. Like, that's progress. Cole says, will we clinch at tomorrow's game? If they win tonight and Milwaukee loses and then the Padres win tomorrow or Milwaukee loses, then yeah, they're going to clinch tomorrow. But obviously, those things have to happen first tonight. Jeffrey says, I'm just hoping we don't miss our pitches. I'm sure you talked about it yesterday. We had opportunities, but just missed. Yep. With the Dodgers series, Manny, Soto didn't really come through yesterday with runners in scoring position. That's going to have to change, I think, come postseason time against the Dodgers because they're going to come through. I feel like they're not going to have a terrible offensive series like they did against the Padres this week. So, yeah, I think they're just going to have to come through more consistently come postseason time. And, yeah, not missing the pitches, being aggressive. I think that's some keys for the rest of this regular season and into the postseason. All right, I think that's going to do it. I know that was a short pregame show, but I'm going to the game today. September 30th, 2022, Padres, White Sox. Yu Darvish on the mound. It's win day. Let's hopefully celebrate a Padres win tonight against the White Sox. Enjoy the game, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Go Pods.